Welcome to Subramani. Please hit the bell icon. I want more people to see this. This is not a video about Narendra Modi, but it starts off like that. Narendra Modi came to power in 2014 and he wanted some major reforms. He really thought, like a CEO, he could come and make changes, but he didn't realize that the whole system was not with him. So he started with land reforms, and immediately Rahul Gandhi picked it up and said, "Oh, suit boot ka sarkar." They immediately dropped the land reforms. I think it would have worked wonders. Then much later, the Soros-backed Rahul Gandhi got a lot of support from all of them, and he thwarted the agricultural reforms. Right, so agricultural reforms would have definitely have helped the farmer. He could have grown more sensible crops than just wheat and rice, and he would have made a lot more money. But a bunch of, I would say, agents in Punjab ensured that the agricultural reforms didn't go through. Well, didn't go through in the whole country, but some of the smarter states like Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh, etc. I'm not so sure about Uttar Pradesh, but I'm sure about Maharashtra. Implemented the APMC Act and all long back. I mean, Sharad Pawar did it. Congress also had land reforms, the agri reforms in its manifesto, but they said if Narendra Modi is launching it, it has to be bad. Why am I creating this background? Because in 2025, end of 2025, Narendra Modi has got one thing done is the labor reforms. I'm not getting into too much of details of the labor reforms, but I had to recently write for somebody about the labor reforms, so not too much of details, but in November 21, they consolidated 29 fragmented existing laws into a streamlined framework aimed at modernizing regulations. It has helped the employees, it has helped the employers, and it has definitely simplified life for many students who are writing exams, right? These codes originally passed between 2019 and 2020 cover wages, industrial relations, social security, and occupational safety, health, and working conditions. The reform extends to all workers, including those in the gig economy, projected to grow from 10 million to 23.5 million by 2030, unorganized sectors, migrants, and platform employees. I seriously don't know how it can apply to platform employees, because they are not really employees. They don't sign a contract. You just download a software, you start getting work, right? So if I want to drive a Ola taxi, or be a delivery boy for food in Swiggy or Zomato, I just download an app and I sign up and I do it. That's it. So they don't tell me what uniform I should wear, etc. Of course, there are some rules and regulations, but whether there is an employer-employee relationship created, I don't know. How it will be implemented, I don't know. But let us look at the key changes and benefits for workers. Universal minimum wages and timely payments. It says payment should be made on time. But I know big organizations, I mean stadiums and sports organizations, etc., which don't pay on time. Can an employee really do much about this? Answer is no. Even ex-employees are not interested in pursuing the matter. So many companies, many of these small trusts, organizations, etc., don't pay salary on time. But here it says a statutory national floor wage applies to all employees, ensuring basic living standards, with wages more mandated to be paid within a specified timeline. 7 days, 7 working days, which means the monthly pay has to be paid on or before the 7th of the month. What if your employer pays on 15? Do you really have a choice? If you had a choice, you would perhaps not be employed here, but that's just being very cynical. Extended social security coverage now includes provident fund, employee state insurance, ESIC, gratuity, and insurance for gig, platform, fixed stream, fixed term and unorganized workers via Aadhaar linked portable accounts. Aggregators must contribute 1 to 2% of turnover for gig workers. I don't know how this is going to be implemented, but this is what they say. Wage structure and overtime. Basic pay must constitute at least 50% of total compensation, potentially reducing take home salary but boosting retirement benefits like PF and gratuity. Overtime will require consent and will have double the wages. Leave and gratuity. Annual paid leave eligibility reduced from 240 to 180 days of work. Gratuity now available after 1 year for fixed term employees. Right? Earlier it used to be 5 years. Leave and gratuity. Health and safety measures. Free annual health checkup for workers over 40 or in hazardous roles, and mandatory safety training, protective gear, etc. Protection for women and vulnerable groups. Women can take night shifts and in all occupations like mining, etc. with consent. Safety, safe transport and CCTV surveillance and security. Now, formalization and flexibility. Mandatory appointment letters for all hires. Work from home, something which all of us have seen with good employers, but now every employer will have to comply with these things. The codes aim to reduce regulatory burden and foster economic growth. Simplified compliance, so ease of doing business, simple registration, licenses, returns, replacing multiple filings. Greater flexibility in hiring firing, because the layoff approval threshold raised from 100 to 300 workers. So if you have less than 50 workers, you don't have to worry about going to the government for shutting down, if at all. Inspector cum facilitators emphasize guidance over penalties, etc. Despite government claims that worker empowerment, unions have objected to this, which is very fair. So it is necessary for you to understand all this as an investor, what implications it will have and what impact this will have. For example, these kind of flexibility will mean more and more people will convert their small homestays into hotels. So tourism could get a boost and all these things could happen. I am not getting into whether you should vote for Modi or not vote for Modi, but this simplification of land laws, simplification of labor laws was necessary, very, very important, and I'm sure slowly the farm laws, etc. will get implemented at the state level, and then one day it might be easier to pass the legislation at the center. Thank you.